Conrad had spent years keeping a very detailed list of everything everyone else had done wrong. It was thorough, it was organized, it was entirely the wrong list. He drank because of his father, because of his ex, because of his boss who never appreciated him, the friend who betrayed him, the city who never gave him a fair shot. The alcohol was just the reasonable response to an unreasonable world. At least that's how the story went inside his head for about 15 years. Then he walked into AA and someone asked him to look at his part. My part, he said, I was the one that all these things were happening to. His new sponsor nodded. Right, and how's that story been working for you? Conrad opened his mouth, then closed it, looked down at his coffee, because the honest answer was not great. So after some time, struggle, procrastination, he was eventually able to sit down with the inventory, his inventory, not the one about everyone else, the one about himself. And in all that writing, what he found wasn't a monster, it wasn't a villain, it was something far more disarming. A human being who had made human mistakes and then spent years refusing to admit it. He had been controlling where he called it protecting. He had been dishonest where he called it surviving. He had been selfish where he called it self-preservation. Now, none of it made him evil. All of it made him accountable. And here's what no one tells you about accountability. It's actually lighter than blame. Blame keeps you locked in the story forever, waiting for the other person to change, waiting for an apology that may never come, waiting to feel better at the mercy of someone who's maybe moved on with their life. Accountability says, I had a part, I can name it, I can own it, and then I can put it down. Conrad wrote the list. He admitted the wrongs honestly. He became willing to set things straight. And when he looked at the sum total of everything he had written, every mistake, every resentment, every moment he'd pointed the finger outward, he didn't see a bad person. He saw someone who had been hurting, doing the best he could with what he had, falling short in ways that were entirely, painfully, beautifully human. He wasn't expected to be perfect. He never had been. He just never let himself off the hook long enough to actually heal. Now, Conrad had spent 15 years keeping a meticulous list of everyone else's wrong. And it turned out the most important list he'd ever make was the one about himself. Because that was the only list he'd actually had the power to do something about. And with the story you just heard was written and based on today's daily reflection, Accepting Our Humanness. I'm Sam, a grateful alcoholic. I hope to catch you for another brand new story tomorrow morning. Thank you for sharing a warm cup of reflection with me this morning. I love you all and have a blessed day.